The real person could never live up to that, because the real version is flawed, broken, messy. But that doesn't fit the story you've built in your head, does it? So you ignore it, blind yourself to reality, because facing the real person means shattering the fantasy. The version in your mind is perfect, never demanding, always understanding, always there when you need them. But perfection doesn't exist outside the confines of your imagination. It's easier to be infatuated with an illusion, to fall for a version of someone that only exists in the safety of your thoughts. Because that version, that's the one who never pushes back, never has their own needs, never disappoints. In your mind, they are everything you want, because you've made them that way. The irony? You're not falling for them at all. You're falling for your own reflection, for the version of yourself that feels complete when attached to the fantasy. It's the ultimate act of self-sabotage, isn't it? You spend all your energy chasing a dream, burning your attention like it's infinite, feeding this illusion until there's nothing left. You tell yourself you're in love, that what you feel is real, but what you're really doing is running from reality. The person in your head isn't real. The connection you're chasing doesn't exist outside your own fantasy. But you've spent so much attention, so much mental currency, that the thought of letting go feels unbearable. You'd rather chase the dream than face the fact that it was never real to begin with. Every bit of attention you spend on this illusion is energy wasted. Energy that could be directed towards something real, something tangible, something that doesn't crumble the moment you look too closely. But you won't look, will you? Because looking means acknowledging that the person you're obsessed with is human, flawed, imperfect, and that doesn't fit into the dream. So you ignore the cracks, the inconsistencies, the glaring signs that the version you've built in your head could never exist outside of it. So keep wasting your attention. Keep feeding the fantasy. But know this, you're not falling for the person, you're falling for a feeling, a projection of what you wish they could be. And in doing so, you're blinding yourself to reality, to the fact that no one, not even the most perfect illusion, can fill the void you refuse to confront. The person in your mind is nothing but a reflection of your own desires, a ghost made of your own longing. And until you see that, until you stop feeding the fantasy, you'll stay trapped in this endless loop, chasing after something that was never real to begin with. Rereading the same chapter, reliving the same moments in your head, like a broken record on repeat, hoping, praying that somehow the ending will change, that somehow, if you go back just one more time, you'll find something different. But no matter how many times you turn those pages, the story remains the same. The pain, the disappointment, the loss, it's all locked in place, set in stone. The past is a graveyard, full of dead moments that can't be revived, no matter how many times you dig them up. Yet here you are, stuck in the loop, trapped by your own mind, revisiting the scenes that haunt you, as if by some miracle, the past will rewrite itself. But beautiful things, they're never perfect. Perfection is the lie you've been fed, the illusion that keeps you clinging to what's already gone. You're chasing this ideal version of the past, trying to smooth out the cracks, erase the mistakes. But that's not how life works. The beauty in anything, in anyone, comes from the imperfection, from the flaws, from the chaos that makes it real. What you're doing? Rewinding Replaying, it's like trying to paint over the cracks in a masterpiece, trying to hide the very things that give it depth, that make it alive. But you're too fixated on perfection to see the beauty in the mess. Your future needs you, but you're too busy shackled to the past, too busy dragging along the weight of what no longer serves you. You're caught up in memories, in regrets, and those memories. They've made a home in your head, taking up space, suffocating the very part of you that could be building something new. The past doesn't need you. It never did. It's finished, done, sealed off from the reach of your influence. But the future? That's where the real story begins, where you get to step into the unknown, where you finally let go of the chains that bind you to the person you used to be. But the longer you cling to what was, the further you drift from what could be. The present is the only thing that's real. The past is a phantom, a shadow that lingers, whispering lies in your ear, trying to convince you that it still matters, that it still holds power over you. But it's a trap. The past only holds the power you choose to give it. The more you feed it, the more you let it dictate your choices, the more it consumes you. It's a slow death, a kind of poison that creeps into your thoughts, convincing you that the future can wait, that there's still something left to salvage in the ruins of what once was. But the only thing that can save you, that can heal you, is right here, right now. The present moment, that fleeting, elusive now, that is where you are alive. Not in the past you keep replaying, not in the future you're too afraid to face. The present is where change happens, where transformation begins, where you can finally put down the weight you've been carrying and step into something new. The future isn't some distant dream, some abstract concept you'll get to eventually. It's built in the now, brick by brick, moment by moment. But as long as you're stuck rereading the old chapters, you're missing the chance to write a new one. So stop chasing ghosts. Stop living in the illusion that the past still holds some kind of meaning. Let it die. Let it fade into the background where it belongs.